All right, you fiends have been absolutely loving the POV videos, and I much appreciated by this. And the #1 requested player that I have been getting since the very beginning of doing Spoit has been a Stompn video. Over and over, please do Stompn, please do Stompn, please do Stompn. And it's paid off, because if you guys haven't seen recently, the G2 versus Falcons game is probably the most impressive game that I've ever watched. And Stompn finally had himself a king of a game, dropping 18 kills and his first ever Pro League ace. So thankfully, I held off on the Stompn video because I knew he was going to pop off. I knew he was the best rookie to exist ever. And yeah, let's just hop right into the video. Let's start watching how Stompn got 18 kills, how he was so dominant, and how he was able to help G2 beat the Falcons on Bank, which is a map that they haven't lost in 3 years. I believe they were 33-0 on Bank in the last 3 years. Could be a little bit wrong on that stat, but I'm pretty sure that's correct. That's where I got the information from, but maybe someone can let me know in the comments down below. But 3 years, nonetheless, very, very impressive. And this one went the distance, 8-7. So we are going to start right here on Bank. Again, we are on defense, and G2 is lower, so we're going to see a little bit of a setup here. They have him on Echo, and, you know, if you guys saw the last Bank game, he was on Tachanka, and he got a little bit of flack for maybe not knowing some fire lineups and stuff like that, which, you know, maybe we'll see a little bit later in the video. No spoilers quite yet, although maybe I've already said who won this game. So regardless, maybe there's a little bit of a spoiler. Anyways, they're switching it up. They got him on Echo, which is a good late round op. Why not if they think the Falcons are going to go really, really slow? This could have been a prepped defense. We're going to see that first drone get thrown into the site. The second drone is right here in Garage, and he's going to be able to use it to peek outside Garage ramp and see if Falcons want to go towards Garage. And the one in sight, he can just kind of tuck under the desk, and it's going to be used late round for the default plant if things get a little bit scrappy. So I am going to kind of skip through this, maybe 2 times speed, because he is the Garage player. And as you can really see, like, he just used it again to peek outside, see if anyone's on that E3 rappel. He can kind of tell it's roamers, anyone in the elevator. Maybe he can try to fight that guy or whatever. But G2 uses him kind of like to hold down positions. Like, he's almost like a sentry turret on defense. It's the way I like to describe him. Like, you'll typically see him like on Lair. He's got a spot named after him, which is like right next to the Pebbles door or bridge side. He holds it down with smoke, and he holds that spot down. Or on Labs, where he's playing like either mute or warden, and he's close E-box, and like he stays there to die. But yeah, he doesn't. There's not much like movement. He's not like a roamer for the team. He's kind of just holding down a position. So to see him in Garage makes a ton of sense. And again, he's just going to be using those Echo drones, and this is pretty much all any Garage player does. Really, you're just going to be checking outside with these Echo drones and kind of waiting for that last second execute. So unfortunately there, the one under the desk is pretty default in Pro League. Solotov does know it. They must have droned it out, or he just looked for it randomly. But first drone goes down to a Twitch drone, so he's going to need to move his second drone and play it a little bit safer. And again, he's just going to be holding down Garage until he's needed, really. Everyone's alive on defense, so it's not like anyone can be sitting on a BP, which I believe, yeah, I think they had a BP for Garage. So he kind of has to hard hold it until someone kind of dies. And the smokes are going to come out. So this is the little minigame, the utility meta that happens in Bank Basement. I'm sure everyone knows by now. It's been the same way for 10 years since I played in Pro League. Doki goes down, bomb's starting to go down. Stompn now realizes it's a crosswall plant. Does end up stopping it right here, because if you hit the Montane, 2 seconds left, and they are able to start playing again. And this is the unfortunate part, and the really good part about the Twitch drone, Solotov getting his other one. But Stompn makes up for it. Kills the player dropping hatch right there. And then now in a 1v2, ends up getting a pixel on Solotov, and now picks up his teammate Doki, which is absolutely massive. Playing a 1v1 versus a Montane, awful. Now it's a 2v1. Usus has to play a little bit more aggressively and try to kill one of these players. Using the Echo drone to just push the Montane back a little bit, put some pressure. And now he's able to long arm Stompn with the cover, and he does get the triple kill. And obviously a massive, massive round. Unfortunate that the first Echo drone got zapped. But he made up for it in the end. Made them panic for a 2-second execute. Got the 3-piece, and overall a really solid round. All right, I'm going to speed up prep phase just to kind of move a little bit so the video's not an hour long, because this was an 8-7. We are going to see him setting up CEO. So this is a setup, double reinforced Jan walls. Slapping down some ADSs here. Those ADSs are good in case anyone's trying to just flash Janitor before they take it or anything like that. Help reinforce stock, and then the BP. And this BP is really good if you guys haven't been doing it because teams are using Ace or Hibana. Yeah, it's usually Ace, but they try to open the stock wall, and you can use that BP to EMP the Ace to prevent it from going off, give your defender a chance to shoot it off. All right, so at this point, Stompn, I'm going to speed it up because it's the beginning of the round and he's just kind of sitting on cams, but he is going to play the main stair spot, which is very similar to the E3 player spot, but his whole job here is to just kind of control Marble and not really die. It does look like G2 is kind of more stuffing the stock side, maybe countering the stock pressure, not trying to let them give up that, which is going to protect the Janitor player overall. By holding on to this hall, it doesn't let anyone run into Janitor. And if you protect the Janitor player, he's able to stop all the default plants. So what I really like about, and what I want to talk about real quick, is Stompn is very, very, very good, especially for a rookie, of knowing when to get passive versus when to get aggressive. Now, I feel like in NA specifically, but just a lot of young players, they just over-peak a lot of things and give their life and don't know the value of their life. Because when you're on defense, for example, when you're on defense, it is a 6v5 essentially because you have the clock on your side. And Stompn, we'd see him on the main stairs. He's not over-peaking anything. He's not going to peek CO windows. He's not going to go peek the lobby windows and just expose himself. He's not going to go into stock and just wide swing someone. Like, he's literally here to hold down main stairs, and that's exactly what he's doing. He hops on cams when he can, and he's just holding down Marble stairs. Now, unfortunately here, there was a gap because he's not playing on the E3 spot like a fact. Able to find a gap and run up red spiral. But again, right there, he doesn't chase the kill, right? A lot of players would have just ran down the hall and go chase the kill, but he's still here. He's not giving up the gap, because if he did chase Lycofac and go try to kill Lycofac, and then someone on attack could jump over the Marble skylight and take the gap that was created. So literally just holding his zone, and unfortunately for him, though, his team does end up falling down. Able to kind of hold everything. Does get an exit frag right there, taking out, I believe it was Deimos and Shaiko, and honestly, worth. All right, we're going to go into the third round. They are going to go back to the CEO site, but they're going to switch it up, and they do something that I really, really like here that I think is very innovative. I haven't seen, and that's they're going to triple reinforce Janitor walls, and they're going to put this mirror here, and they're going to open it up. And what that's going to do is your Janitor player now has so much space to move around in Janitor, as opposed to what's normal is these middle two are reinforced, and this next one, this next wall is soft. What that's going to do is if the attackers open up the one CEO wall, they now can shoot through this soft wall, and it's going to make playing a Janitor extremely, extremely hard. And it's also going to make it hard to stop the plant's window side, because what is the meta right now is window takes, pressuring Janitor, swinging in, and just trying to plant around this area right here where my mouse is. So what this is going to do, again, is going to keep all these three hard walls up, and there's no Ace on the board because they took out Ace, so walls are going to stay up, and because he's able to play there, you're going to be able to stop those plants a little bit more effectively, throw util through the mirror without having to worry about getting wall banged. So he's got his other mirror in his pocket, and that's just going to be for wherever he thinks or the team thinks that a take is going to come from. So we can put this now on 1x speed, because why not? We can just enjoy the gameplay that is Stompn. He's not playing in the Marble stair spot because they switched it up again. He is now the meeting player, which is kind of the central of the defense, right? We have players in stock, players in Trump, players in Janitor, and he's in the middle of all of them, able to support. As you can see, he's got to rotate here, so he's able to kind of look through and stop plants and contest any window swing-ins. And then once he turns around a little bit again, we do see him contesting windows a little bit more. He has holes that are high here, so he's able to see if someone jumps over Marble, and then he can call and help the stock player, the Legion here. Also, if they do get into stock and they go deep, he can stand on top of this desk, look through the holes, help and support the Legion. And then he also has these holes facing the red stairs, and he could do the same thing. He can hop up on the desk and help if they think they are going to go up red stairs. All right, so he is going to decide to put his mirror down facing the main and stock side. They are thinking that the take is more so coming from that direction instead of probably placing it facing the Janitor door, which is kind of the other preset position. And Falcons are looking to open up the CEO wall and just kind of go for that window plant that I was talking about. But there's a couple problems in their path. Obviously, they got the Wamai close windows they still have to clear. And then the Janitor window that I was talking about. So Stompn still staying alive. Just putting a couple shots towards CEO. He's able to, again, he's making sure no one is going Marble. I'm pretty sure they have barbed wire there. Doki goes down, so that's a close window player. So at this point, he's able to fill in a Janitor. They're going for an S2 retake play. So he fills in. There's still a bomb going down, and he knows it. And this is where we're going to see the genius that is the open mirror. He's safe. Windows can't wall bang him. That's a free C4, and he's going to stop the plant. 15 seconds left. Stompn basically saved the round. They have to just jump in, and then that is a nasty shot. I don't even know if he saw that guy, if he was shooting at the other one that swung in. Laura finishes up the other one. And overall, a good CO defense from G2. All right, G2 fans, and anyone that's seen the prior games, this is where we're getting a little worried. We're seeing Stompn back on Tachanka. I know a lot of people were begging for him to come off Tachanka after the last game. But you guys will see, I forget if it's in this round or another round, what he is dealing with Tachanka, and it's not as easy as it sounds to shoot the fires. But anyways, same thing. That's why I'm going extremely fast, and I'm going to keep it on 2x speed. He doesn't have the echo, but he's still holding down garage. However, he's not going to play garage because he needs to be in a position to fire with Tachanka. But he's still going to be doing the same thing while his team is like doing that extended roam early, which, like, you know, you got your smoke server, you got a guy probably in the elevator that can drop down, you have open area, like normal bank defense stuff. Waste a little bit of time, layer back down into a bunker. While they're all doing that, he has to hold down garage so they don't take it early. Now that Goyo fell down, Goyo's going to take it, and now Stompn can play more into the middle of the site, where we do see him with a rotate here, which is actually kind of nice. So you can see, like, I'm going to go back 5 seconds, but he's got this rotate, and then looks like replay bugged a little bit, but there's these holes here that also see main stairs. Okay, went by. But he's also able to help main stairs from there. It's a really good angle. If you guys haven't seen it, to explore that maybe, that can help walk down on those stairs. And he does have fires. So like Tachanka's also really good if they think it's a back take, because he can just play back there, keep firing off E1 and the vault drop hatch. But either way, they're not. Falcons electing to go for a frontside take. We see Stompn able to go through walls because he's that good. All right, so Stompn sitting here looking at his lineup, and he does have a lineup, and he does have a good lineup. He does have to make he does have to make a few more holes here, but as we can see, he does have a lineup. He kind of knows where to shoot it here. On top of basically the light where the sprinkler is. And he does have a shield to play behind, right? Like, which is nice and safe. However, G2's not bringing anything to really protect the shield. Boom, shield goes down. And now this is when it gets scary to fire. This is what he's dealing with. He's Grimbeed. He's being marked. They can just look deep. They have Crawlswall open. They can smoke and still see Stompn because he's Grimbeed. He is shooting some fires, but it's a little scary. He doesn't just have a lineup. He ends up hitting it and taking down users right there, gets a double kill shooting through the smoke, and honestly saves the round, because now it's a 3v1. And what should be a pretty decent retake, however, Saltov does end up finding 1 kill, and now there's 2 people left, just him and Doki, the roommates, going for the retake. Last time, he was able to defend while the guy was on the bomb. Now they're trusting him again to do that. They're trusting the rookie to hold while Doki goes for the counter defuse, and it ends up paying off. And honestly, I feel like we should give Stompn the kill. I think he got 19 kills because I'm giving him that one, and the game didn't really count it. Just want to show that, like, again, he's not able to just sit back there and fire. He is being pressured. The Grim Bees was really good pressure from the Falcons. The smokes, really nothing he could do. He has to just shoot bees, shoot fires. But he was able to stop, and he did a lot better than the last bank game. Overall, really good round from him. And at this point, he's 8-1 and absolutely destroying. And again, they are up 3-1 on the Falcons, who, again, just want to highlight, haven't lost in 3 years. I believe it is 33-0 on Bank. And here they are up 3-1 on defense. And Bank is not a defender-sided map. It's one of the most attacker-sided maps that we have in Pro League still. So now we see him on the Valk. They are going Teller's bomb site, which I'm a fan of Teller's. Personally, I think open area is very easy to get hit directly. I think it's very weak to like isolation strats, direct strats. A lot of people don't bring Warden on it, and you could just like bring Glass and just or Yang and just cheese it. So we see him going Tellers. Now I've seen G2 play Tellers before, and they do play very vision heavy. They have Echo and they have Valk, and they're only playing, I believe it's 2 guys top floor, Laura and Alamau, both playing top floor, and then these guys he is just supporting the Echo in open area. Main reason you do not want to lose open area if your plan is to layer on this bomb site, which is the meta right now. You can't really hold top floor super aggressively. So teams usually just waste time up there. We see now it's just Alamau on the Vigil holding down top floor. And they need to hold on open again, because if they lose open, they can't come down the main stairs. They can't drop hatch. The open player will end up killing them. So just playing central defense here. Does end up rotating into site because they call them going windows, and he is the only C4 operator on the team. So instead of helping open area now, he did move into site. This is really good from him. Again, you're just trying to create opportunities and picks. with the C4s. So I think he hears a ram drone go off like right here. And he has no idea that this guy's actually not swinging in. It was too late. He already threw a C4, so he's just going to blow it and get nothing. But that's okay. It's enough pressure. He is a little bit worried because sometimes teams will throw the ram drone as a pressure as something else is happening. So you can see him not falling for the bait. He is kind of aware like, hey, they could be going open here. They could be going sight. And at this point, it's a 4v4. Dope calls going out. Alamo still top floor being pressured. Because Alamo goes down, Stompn's going to get a little bit aggressive. I don't think they can win with 50 seconds up and they have full top and ram drones going out. It's a lot, so Stompn's going to flank up S2. Thinks he has a gap. Unfortunately for him, the Falcons do have a drone on him. You can see ram right there get alert. Deimos also alert. They know Stompn's here. And but he is going to trade, and he takes down Saltov, which, I mean, hey, worth. Unfortunately for him, though, they don't end up winning the round. All right, at this point, there was a rehost, one of the many long ones that we had during this game, so that's why you see everyone back at 0 kills. G2, for their last bomb site, do go back, or for the first time, they go to open area, stomping on the smoke, one of his classic operators. And at this point, I'll slow it down again. He is just getting droned. Site, possibly in the comms, calling like, hey, they could be looking at doing a site hit, because this is one of the weakest defenses again. 2 site hits. We see that all the time in Pro League games. Especially when you combine it with the Ying. Again, almost no Warden ever gets run on the site. He could be calling for a direct, especially with Flores as well. This is really, really good pull pressure from the Falcons. And G2 not 100% falling for it, which I like to see. We still, like, Laura's an open area helping him. So there's no reason for them to all freak out. Like, Laura's here, Stompn's still got 3 smokes in his pocket. So you still see G2 roaming, Doki over in Tellers, and Alamo and Blaz upstairs. Not falling for the bait. Doki ends up going down to Tellers. More Yings kind of baiting Stompn. That could be a site hit, but he is ready. He is playing close. I think one mistake Falcons made is not opening up the electrical box with the Flores drone. They kept the wall soft, so Stompn feels safe to kind of move back and forth, as you see here. Most players in Kitchen sit up against this wall because this wall over here on electrical gets opened. The wall where it's being smoked right now. And if that wall gets open, then the smoke is forced to sit more so in the corner. So yeah, maybe a mistake from the Falcons. He has a little bit of movement. He knows, it looks like the yellow ping going out. He knows that they're trying to go kitchen side. I wouldn't have hated it right there in a 3v5 for him to get a little bit aggressive on that guy, because now he's just going to get tons of flashbangs coming at him. I think here comes another Candela. He's also blind. They walk in, end up killing him. And that is basically the round. All right, so 3 defenses, not too shabby. Not too shabby for G2. Now we get to see him on attack. And the funny thing is, I just recorded a Pasha video. Literally just recorded a Pasha video on Bank. And now I'm thinking about it, the Sploit one was on Bank too. Apparently all of these are on Bank. And we do get to see what kind of drone he is. I've talked about it before. On Bank, usually there's like 4 main zones, sometimes 5. But like someone is always a lobby cam in a competitive team. Someone is an open area cam. Someone's a Teller's archive cam. Someone should be like a top main-ish cam or can see like this top lane. And then your third and final cam can be S1, S2, or S3, depending on the site. Like for lower, having a cam in basement, I like to see Ash putting it right there, is good. Because then you can call if they are holding server, and if not, maybe you can call like a site isolation hit, something like that. So anyway, prep drones, really, really important. Competitive teams do talk about zones. All I was trying to get is, it looks like Stompn's drone is the lobby cam, which is generally in one of these 3 bushes. Almost every single competitive team does it, and I still don't know how teams aren't. I mean, it's very hard to find, but also worth making sure, because his drone did get shot that round, that hopefully we see him mix up his drone spot a little bit. You don't want to keep putting it in the same bush if they are already looking for it. So you see him spawn on the backside. I'm going to fast forward until some action kind of starts, but he is going to play Dokubi here. And it does look, actually, because of that cam, that I forget who had it, it was a Blaz maybe, that they did call a little bit of an isolation strat. This is like a server ISO. We see Lion going toward Garage. Stompn's job here is to hold the S2 or to hold the flank, because Doki is now square. He has a cam for him kitchen, being able to call if anyone was going to come to the kitchen double and be able to shoot Doki in the back. So this is a really good flank cam that he has here. But his job is just flanks. And I absolutely love this angle, and I forgot that it existed. It might be a little bit late reaction time-wise if someone wants to fly through onto the blue stairs, but he can always just sit on his cam in kitchen as well if he wants a little bit more of like time. Like, oh, he can see that guy flanking, then he can get gun up and ready for them to flank. So that cam in kitchen is really, really good. Same with that one. Same thing, S1. He can sit on it, or someone else can sit on it and call if someone is flanking. And this looks like this is all his job is, combined with Dokkaebi calls for the vision or whenever they want it. So really no, like not much impact. He's just playing flank watch, which is not a bad role for him at all because he is more of a sentry turret kind of player, knowing when to get passive and aggressive. Some players will get super impatient sitting up there. I wouldn't say that's what this is. Stompn is now coming downstairs because it sounds like they needed extra help. More people are dying. This is really good. He's now getting with his team, able to cover for the bomb going down. This is exactly who you want covering over you if you need be, but Laura ends up killing the guy from the garage. All right, open area. Spawn back alley. Looks like he was trying to go toward the lobby position again, so I'm going to still assume that it's where his cam's supposed to be. I'm going to fast forward to the actual gameplay. Site's open area, and again, he is the ATM player. This is looking like a pretty default take out of G2, and what the ATM player's job is you see the RAM on the windows, right? And he's going to have this drone in lobby, which he probably should have had placed in prep, but it did end up getting shot. His job is to drone Teller's archives. Well, first off, his main job is don't let anyone come out this couch door and peek anyone on the windows. That's his first and like first and foremost, that's his job. Second, if that guy wants to repel in the RAM, he needs to drone Teller's archives and call who's, like if it's a C4 op, if it's someone to be worried about for swinging in. So now we're going to see him droning Teller's archives, and he's going to see it's a sentry. That could, right? It's a recruit. It could have a C4. So then Stompn has options. He can just keep calling this guy, right? I don't know if they have like lurks possibly going in on him, or he could try to get aggressive and take some fights. He can just lurk on this guy. I think we've seen it in the Pasha video where you can maybe doke call, try to get a lurk, go through the couch door, lurk on the Teller player. His third option is if his team needs help, the ATM player could also walk up red spiral stairs, like these lobby stairs right in here. But it doesn't look like they need help top. If you see, all of Falcons players are downstairs already. So again, Stompn already did his first and foremost job. He held down lobby. Ram didn't swing in, so he didn't die to the C4, rotated off it. And now Stompn plays lurk. They have top floor control. So this went from flank watch to now it's a lurk position. Unfortunately for him, that is not a good spot to Dokkaebi call, and I don't think this is well synced and timed with his top floor players. They're trying to go to ram call, but usually after you get top, the kills come right here in this Teller's archives because you could work top down and kill this guy. You can also work an E2 elevator kill as well in a different way, but we don't see that. Would have loved for his team to create more pressure on the recruit, and then he kind of hits the backstab into there. But regardless, ends up unluckily. There was an angle as he was Dokkaebi calling. Next round, backside spawn again with the drone, which I'm not sure why. He's the back, because it looks like, again, he's going toward ATM again. It's like he's supposed to have his drone over here, but he doesn't. We see him pick to Thatcher, which is very good against teams that obviously go Cade. You have two options. You can bring a Thatcher, or you can bring a Maverick. I think Maverick, I don't know if they had information on the tube, does make things a little bit easier because, yes, you can double EMP for the Cade so they can't Cade trick you, where you pick up the Cade claw and rethrow it again. But there's a tube, and you can outlast 3 Thatchers with the Cade tube. So this is really cool also from Laura. I do like this mini play, and you know, I'm not highlighting Laura here, but I have to show this. Being able to come down what I call Venom. A lot of players on garage, on basement site don't play top floor lurks. Usually the normal lurks are like in the elevator, the open, the server. I need to make a video on it because it's always played the same way. But this is really cool to see like this little bit of an angle. This is somewhere you definitely don't expect someone to be. If that elevator guy would get a little bit aggressive, he would die there, or if a player would rotate up the main stairs, he would die. So Stompn, again, if you watch the Pasha video, same routing as Pasha. Comes in, helping clear the middle floor, and now he's here for his EMPs. Boom, boom. But again, I don't know if G2 knew that there was a tube on the board, so we are going to see them, and I'm going to keep this on 2x speed just because, again, nothing is really happening too much. It's just this normal Cade tube strategy where you're trying to prevent the hatch from being opened up. A lot of teams just do tube, but here we see Cade tube. And what that's going to do is it's going to keep it shut. Hatch, default hatch is not open, so this is not good for G2. If they were looking to do a server take, they're not anymore. They now have to go backside. So we're going to see Stompn just kind of drop into the elevator here. Go Fire is already going off, and if Brid could smoke this as well and make it very difficult. And no drones, they're just going off of pure just intuition where that player could be. Unfortunately for him, that guy's got a Goyo Vector in his hands, and if you know, you know. All right, back to the CEO site. Looks like he was checking if it's lower. He's checking where the bomb site is. Now he's checking if it's CEO. Hey, it's CEO. And he's going to get real... I'm going to slow it down because he actually gets really good value out of his drone. Again, this is what I like to see out of a rookie. He's not just jumping his drone at people, trying to get as many points as possible. He drives it in, he finds a spot that no one's watching, and then he's able to sit here, and he's getting so much intel. I think he found 4 operators by himself, and he keeps it alive in Jan. That's extremely big. Able to call the castle, so we're going to see him stick on this Ash to, again, get rid of any castles. And then this is going to be more of a meta kind of window take from G2, but I love, there's one thing I absolutely love that they do, and it doesn't end up working out, but it is very, very cool. But we are going to see him open the windows. Right now he's just seeing if any players curve, want to get aggressive. This would just be an absolute free kill for him, while his players are droning CEO. They're calling out this castle they want him to get rid of, so boom, easy to do that. He's also here in case there was a Mira. He would be able to ash it as well. Checking if anyone's close, because that's the first problem you need to solve with a window take, is if anyone is close, you need to kill that player first. No one is close for the Falcons. Now, this is really cool, and this had to be a call from Alamau, so big props to him. But wall open right here, the soft wall open, and why that's big is Falcons reinforce these 2 walls, which is a little bit... some teams do it, but like what it does is it creates a plant spot. Like you could just walk in and plant on the walls, and there's no way to stop it from like the janitor angle. So really, really good call for Ashen to stomp to open that wall up and go for that. However, Brid was aware, and this is why he's one of the GOATs. He made these top pulls. He threw it over, hit the back wall, so they were obviously well prepared for this plant. Something G2 maybe didn't notice. However, for them, they're still able to get control. They're still able to get picks because they were so worried about that plant. And Stompn doesn't, again, there's no reason for him to swing in right now. It is a 4v1, right? It's a 4v1. He's just got to stay up on his window, holds curve, gets an absolute free kill on Brid. Very, very good. Again, he just knows when to get aggressive versus when to stay passive. He keeps it simple, and that's something that G2 has needed for, honestly, quite a while now. And he balances them out very, very well. All right, I believe this is the round. Yeah, nothing happens on his drone at all. And he goes Deimos. He's going to throw this early lobby cam. Where's he going to put it? He's going to get some lobby vision. He sees that E2 door is castled, which is actually good for him if he plans on lurking. He doesn't have to worry about getting peeked from the E2 door. And then here's that bush cam, again, just for some vision. Alamau goes down. And I do like... because it's open area again. And I like the Deimos pick because now he could drone Teller's Archives again. And if that player in there is a C4 operator, he could use a Deimos track and make sure that, you know, that person is basically effectively pooled. Their attention is pulled and they can't get a C4 on the RAM if Blaz did want to swing in because we see the RAM on. See a window still. They need there must have been a call that they needed help top floor. This is that third option, I believe, that I was talking about, where as the lobby player, you can just walk up spiral and help clear top. Not sure what drones are getting used, but he seems very, very worried about E3 elevator, which a lot of players do like to hide in here, but the hatch is shut. And now they got top floor control. And this is kind of where things get a little bit puzzling because for the next, I'm going to go 2 times speed, but minute 25-ish, they knew top floor was clear. And we're going to see him rotating back and forth on these windows doing nothing. So there had to be a call, maybe go backside, and then maybe a conflicting call like, hey, like we see a 2-ping going out on a guy in Teller's Archives. So now, hey, go lobby. Really 30 seconds wasted right now. And the other thing odd to me this round too is like he's playing Deimos, 3 tracks, and not a single use. We know what operator's in there. He droned it out Valk. There's also a cam that's pinging. But we're not using the Deimos track. Regardless, he walks in, gets the pick because Celtop decided to look away for whatever reason. I just feel like when he was top floor, they could have really knew that they wanted to go for Teller Archives way sooner. And he could have used his Deimos from above. There's no mute or anything on board, so they could have just shot through the floor using the Deimos. That would have definitely cleared this Teller's Archive a lot faster. And now here we are at G2, 15 seconds left because this just wasted so much time. Castle, able to sneak upstairs, use this, going for that flank. Very, very bad. G2 almost have to like push fully in at this point. Does get a kill onto the smoke there, but it's not going to be enough. Castle with the flank, end up getting a kill the planner. And again, just kind of a puzzling take from G2, just a little bit. I feel like that could have been so much faster, so much cleaner. All right, and this is what I was talking about by mixing up your drones in lobby. Like if you are in a, like if you have a position where you put your drone, you should make sure you have like 3, 4, 5 different spots in that zone that you can put it and move it to, because if it gets shot, you don't want to just keep putting it in the same spot, right? You want to keep mixing it up. So this is the typical spot that I will see a lot of pro teams. If you're the lobby player, you'll move your drone up against those bushes. And we do see him on the Dokumi, and I believe it's lower again. Yes. So they're going to be doing very similar. I believe this is very, very similar to that first round, because we see him putting that kitchen cam again. What's that going to allow? What's that going to do? It's going to allow Doki. He's in the electrical room, and because Stompn's on his camera. Doki knows that he doesn't have to worry about kitchen. He can just walk down blue stairs. He's flicking the cams for him. Good support play out of Stompn right there. Now, he's on that skylight angle again. And because he can sit on these cams and he can get an early warning if someone's flanking, G2 are going to be able to do their server execute. So this is that angle again. I'm almost very curious to use this in like ranked, but I also don't want off like... Please, if I die to this in ranked, I'd be actually upset. People just sitting up here on skylight. This would be very, very annoying, but very good to use as a flank watch. Again, he has this early warning from kitchen. Here comes basically the entire bomb defusal time. Stop, it's going to sit on the roof. Once he gets the call and the numbers that all players are in sight, there's no reason for him to be up there anymore. Now he's got to come downstairs. And again, we don't see him just like, this is why I'm praising him as a rookie. He's not just coming downstairs and swinging the door, right? Like he's keeping, because it's all coming down to time right now. There's 21 seconds left. He's just keeping himself alive, and he's another option to stop the bomb. I like to call this playing Geico. Like, he, for sure, is the insurance that they are going to win this round. He is not trolling. He is not just peeking this door going for kills. Playing close. Clash has no idea is here, and at this point, Stompn gets a free knife kill onto Lycofak. All right. Now, again, everything's at 0-0, and very puzzling, but there was a diffuser bug. If you haven't watched the game, please go and watch it. Again, very, very good game. But basically, there was a diffuser bug. G2 should have won a round. The bomb was going down on basement defense. It was a 4v3, and they actually planted the bomb, but it didn't count it, and the defenders ended up winning. So there was a big rehost, a really long pause, and the one thing I'm not sure of is usually in the rules you have to go back to the same site. We don't see that here. They let Falcon switch their bomb site. They're going to open area now, and Stompn again the lobby drone. So this time they have to attack open. We've seen this already twice. First round, I believe he was Dokkaebi. Second round, he was Deimos. Now we are going to see him on Twitch. And then what we are going to see out of him is G2 had a really good idea here, looking to go horizontally at the Teller's Archive extremely quick. Stompn is on the Twitch, mainly because if there are any traps, you can see Blackbeard up here on the window. If you swing through that window right at the top of the stairs right there, then you could just go directly, it'll vault you basically directly onto the stairs, and it's a super, super fast entry into archives. So we see Stompn, he was looking for a trap on that pillar, if there was a trap, or above the door, like a Fenrir trap or something like that. That's going to allow Blackbeard to come in, but unfortunately, he didn't drone where exactly the player was in archives. Lycofak is able to kill Blackbeard, which is super, super worth, and honestly good heads up play by Lycofak. But again, G2 looking to combine that. If you look at Doki, he's in lobby. Looks like he was going to lurk on this guy as well. So it's just a very, very fast horizontal take. Dokkaebi call comes out. Doki ends up getting Lycofak and trading. Maybe that could have been synced a little bit better with the Blackbeard Dokkaebi combination, but again, probably didn't expect Lycofak to be wherever he was when he killed the Blackbeard. Saltov kills Doki, and at this point, because their main plan failed, G2 is in like going for picks mode. It basically just comes into like everyone's kind of in their zones. You're trying to link up on the attack, and you're looking for where the defense is weak. Is anyone overextended? Is anyone in a position that we can pinch out together as a team? Unfortunately, they lose another player, and it's just him and Alamau. They're completely separated. At this point, they're just both looking for ones, looking for their own picks. Not the cleanest round from G2. Alamau's going top floor looking for a pick because Usis is the only one top floor. Might have been good for Stompn to go upstairs and then try to 2v1, but I believe Stompn was down here. He tried to make those holes in archives through the small wall, so that way if Alamau was able to chase him, Usis down, and Usis would drop down the hatch, that would be a kill. So again, that's all you're trying to do on attack. You're trying to, when you're down in man advantage, you are just trying to create picks opportunities to even up the man count. Stompn in a basically unwinnable 1v3 at this point. Sure, it'd be cool to get one, but he doesn't. Now G2 back on a defense, arguably the more impressive half, and they're going back to lower, and we are going to see Stompn with a little bit of pressure on him going back on the Tachanka. So same thing. I'm going to skip through all this because it's the same. He's just setting up site. He's sitting in garage. Right, he's sitting on cams. I don't think you guys want to see really this kind of gameplay. Like, if you're the garage player, you know this is your job. Like, this is your simulation. Okay, he's going to rotate away because there is a dead player, and Alamau could just watch the BP now. So, because Alamau's watching the BP, Stompn's able to, because, again, they're a man down, Stompn can come on the main stairs and see if there's anybody he can help try to get a pick, because we see Blaz all the way upstairs to the second floor hallway, excuse me. And Doki's still in open area, so he's kind of playing a bridge. If his teammates need help, Doki over here, he can come up main stairs, possibly connect, possibly help with a trade. And there is the trade, and that is on to Yang. a little bit sloppy. G2 again. They are extending the server. They get another pick. I'm not sure who that was because nothing is popping up on the kill feed. Okay, there it is. Doki with another pick. Unfortunately, they do end up trading, and it is a 3v3. Lore thinks about getting aggressive into server, but at this point, there's 50 seconds left. Lore still has the smoke. Stompn, we already know Stompn's got all of his fires. Looking pretty good for G2. Grim B's coming out, and all 3 players are stacked server side. What could go wrong, right? Fire's going out. Stompn's not pressured this time. He has a shield up. He can deny default the entire time. It doesn't matter about the Venosa shield. There's a smoke that goes out. 15 seconds left. Here comes all Stompn's fires. And guess what? Doki still has a C4, and that's going to be the super, super cool triple kill with the C4. And the last round, and the main reason I wanted to make this video is Stompn, who is the first ever NA import in any region, or at least in EML, in the Europe League, has been having a fantastic rookie season, arguably the best rookie that I've ever seen. And this is going to be his first ever Pro League ace, and it comes against the the first place team, Falcons, who are the best team in their region, and again on a map that they are 33-0 on, haven't lost in 3 years. And for Stompn to show up, I think this is 2 weeks in a row now. Last week, he just popped off, got a drone in front of him, gets a 4K, ends the game on labs. And now this week, he takes Ash, and when the brights are lightest, it's 7-7 match point. He's going to put him away. So Lycofac going to take down Laura, and it's now a 5v4. I'm going to go 1-time speed because I want you guys to be able to catch all this. At this point, again, that's your Deimos. So what's your Deimos going to be used for? If anyone was playing closed windows, you would use the Deimos to get underneath Deimos track. Now, with this take, a window take, I will say, with Aurora, their plan is they can block off Trump, the double door, and the meeting double door. And what that's going to do is the only way the defense can stop any of these window swing-ins, because the bomb's here as well, they have to just swing in, and then all the attackers have to do is hold the janitor rotate or hold the janitor swings. So it's a very, very good take. It's very meta right now as you guys are watching Pro League. Here, they end up popping the fire extinguisher, and somehow, some way, Stompn sees this guy, Trump, to start off, which is a very, very impressive kill. And I'm gonna back up and just kind of let it play. Like, that is just insane. Now they're going to be going for their take. So those roars that I'm talking about, what has to happen? Because those roar gates are going out, the defense has to get a little bit aggressive. Stompn knows exactly what angle to hold and fries Shaiko, the king of EML, or the old king of EML, because now it's Stompn. At this point, 2 kills. They have man advantage. They know, and this is how G2 plays, they know that there is 2 guys top, 1 guy lower. The 1 guy lower, they can work, like, they can use their man advantage on, right? You see Doe could be coming from lobby. Stompn is now going to assist with this lower player. They're going to use their numbers. Obviously, they have vision on this guy as well. Stompn, again, knows when to get passive, when to get aggressive. I like that he's not just rushing in here. He gets the trade. That's going to be his 3rd. He's now going to rotate up. It's now a 2v2. Trades are not looking very, very good for G2. Pretty much, the plan is out the window. You're not going to be able to just do the roar gate plant and everyone hold thing from windows. Plan's out the window. You got to get a little bit scrappy. This is where playing the game, your intuition kind of comes into play. They are able to block off the meeting door, so the only thing Stompn has to look at is the janitor rotate, and you're going to see the roommates again. Doki putting down the bomb plant, making the Trump player move, making the meeting player move, and that's going to be Stompn's first ever Pro League ace. So smooth in it. That's 3 times that game that G2 absolutely trusted him to go huge in the end rounds and trusted him to cover someone as they're bomb planning. And why does it always seem like it's Doki and Stompn? I don't know. They're just the duo. But this was, again, by far and away the most hype game I've ever seen. The casters just kept hyping it up again. The 33-0, never lost in this map. It's been 3 years, and we see Stompn as a rookie take down Falcons single-handedly on the last round, 7-7. I hope this is a playoff game that we will be watching in the future. Possibly, maybe even at EWC. This would be really, really cool to see. And I'm excited to keep watching Stompn because these last 2 weeks, Again, he knows when to get passive, when to get aggressive, but he's been trying to get a little bit more aggressive and do more for his team in these last 2 weeks. We saw it in like the last 2 rounds. He's almost like the closer, and I want to see if he just keeps getting more and more confident in making these plays. But that's going to be it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know down in the comments who you guys want to see next, and we can definitely make it happen. I enjoy making these videos. Yeah, if you guys like the videos, please consider subscribing. It means a lot to me, and like the video. I could definitely use your guys' support for helping to grow this channel. But again, that's going to be it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.